while the concessions Kevin McCarthy made to the holdouts are moving some of his former detractors, the endorsement from Donald Trump notably had no effect whatsoever. That doesn't mean, though, that Donald Trump is checked out of the process. He weighed in the dignified way you would imagine a former president would by posting on Truth Social this photo of him as the speaker, I guess. It's a flattering photo, but you get the idea. He could still become the speaker. Now, look, I get it. I get it that it's a joke, and I'm assuming that if he were actually presented the option, he wouldn't want to actually do this because that sounds like a lot of work. So I assume he doesn't actually want that. But I think the point of posting something like that is very much like, when all of a sudden you become the main character on Twitter and people are really digging into a dumb thing you said or did, and then you just post it like you're out with like your friends, like you're having fun. Like, no, you're not bothered by any of that. Donald Trump is ending a week where his ability to move even the most radical MAGA people in his direction appears to have reached effectively zero. And you know that is burning him up inside, but he's gonna pretend that he's actually having fun with the process. That said, it wasn't impossible that he could become speaker because he was actually nominated. Take a look at this.
We also have to restore to the speaker's office an actual person that ought to be in the speaker's office, not the squatter who is currently there. And if the architect of the Capitol is listening, I sent a letter and I would like to know what the basis is to allow somebody to occupy the speaker's office who comes in second place 10 straight times. Is there like some basis in law or rule or precedent for that? And so I nominate President Trump because we must make our country great again, and he can start by making the House of Representatives great again.
Okay, so look, this is a stunt, obviously, by Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is opposing McCarthy, who Trump supposedly supports. And so to not look too bad to Trump or the continuing Trump loyalists, he's saying he actually wants Trump, who is not running, obviously. That's the way that he's supposed to win Trump back over to him. But then he undercuts it by like going on Laura Ingraham's show and declaring that Trump is wrong to back McCarthy. HR wasn't always his strong suit, which is true. Matt Gaetz isn't wrong, but I don't know that this is actually going to make Donald Trump look or feel that much better, especially because he received only one vote when he was actually officially nominated, and that came from Matt Gaetz. So what Matt Gaetz did in trying to show Trump that he still has his back was make it so that every single one of the remaining holdouts who opted not to vote for Donald Trump are just effectively spitting in Trump's face at that point. I'm not saying that's literally what they're doing, or even what they're intending to do, but it's entirely possible that Trump will see it that way. So this stunt doesn't seem to have helped Matt Gaetz. It doesn't seem to have helped his relationship with Donald Trump. They continue to vote present even when given the option. It was a purely symbolic thing. It would have been easy for them to vote for Trump at that point, and they declined to, Brett.
First of all, I love all the people that vote present because they're just saying, I'm here for it. Like they're just sitting there being like, yeah, I was here.
Saying that.
Popcorn like falling out of their mouths, being like, this is great. Matt Gaetz is a weenie. And so I just don't understand. Like Trump would blow up the entire prevailing dynamic. He did that in 2016, and it was entertaining and constructive, I think, at the same time of being destructive, because the existing framework for politicians representing the people was broken, and Trump was kind of trying to say like, I can be a person, I can be an entertaining entity on stage and reveal how full of crap all the people I'm running against are with a simple jab or barb. But Matt Gaetz isn't really doing any of that. All Matt Gaetz is, he's trying to be the guy that stands up against like the establishment and Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy sounds and looks like a traditional Republican politician. You could put him in like any photo from the last, 50 years and he would fit in, right? But I just think that Matt Gaetz is doing such weird stuff in the meantime and not pointing to any big initiatives he's fighting for that people actually care about. All he's doing is proving that his party is weak and disorganized.
Yeah.
And Kevin, and he's weakening the position of the speaker that represents his party I just don't see the utility in it for anyone other, but not including Matt Gaetz. I don't see what he gets out of this, other than screen time, which is like, just like that, their instinct. It's like the instinct to just eat. Like he's hungry for it.
Well, he does want the screen time. You could say there's utility in the concessions that they got, which to the extent that some of the concessions don't seem particularly substantive, but in theory, if they're one of the people who gets to be on the rules committee now that wasn't going to, that's potentially significant.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.